You're locked in with the Innovators. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Can you talk a little bit more about like Romper Room and like how that initially got started?
So the Romper Room, initially Romper Room was a TV show. It was a TV show that was it was on the air. It aired more than just the Bay Area, but it was definitely, and then like I'm talking, when I say this had to be, the Romper Room probably started somewhere when my dad was a kid. So it was a show where it was almost kind of like not Sesame Street, but like a Sesame Street type vibe, where it was a lady had a classroom with these kids. They would play games, and at the end of the day, she would get this mirror. She called it her magic mirror, and she would look in it and say, "Okay, I see George, I see Becky." So she'd name off all the kids in the classroom. So and if you was being a kid, that was dope. To see, you want your name called too. So that was the original show, and I remember it from a kid. Now, and it was just known to be a kid show.
Yeah.
As far as my crew, the name got stuck to us from being in the neighborhood, the Crest, which is the hood, and in my crew is jokesters. Like even Dre, like I say, even Mac Dre, hella jokesters that like to play a lot. So we used to be in the hood, and then like the older homeboys would be selling dope or something. Like say you one of my homeboys and you selling dope and you had a car, and then you hear somebody saying rollers, rollers, police, and you turn around and it's one of us.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I had a homeboy, his name is Jamie 08. So he nicknamed our crew that. Little badass Romper Room kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just stuck. It just was a name that stuck. And it's just a crew. It's not a big gang or nothing. It's a crew that's grew up in the same neighborhood and did the same shit together, rocked out, slept in cars together, sold dope together, eventually started robbing shit together, robbing banks together, made music together, and still fuck with each other to this day. Like all crews, you have one or two people that might go bad. And luckily that's all that went bad in our crew too. We had to release 2 people from our crew.
Yeah.
And everybody else, we still solid. We still day ones. And we've been around each other for 40 years. You feel me?
Yeah.
Still rocking. Me and my cousin Kilo, me and Jay Smith, it's the crew. It's the crew. Cooley, like we still together. It's hard to find niggas to go to prison as a crew.
Yeah.
And come home.
Yeah.
Like you ain't gonna see no more YSLs and none of that shit. That shit over with.
Yeah.
When you got the whole crew doing this to each other, like my whole crew, everybody in my crew went to federal prison. I still got niggas in my crew in federal prison. I got a homeboy, Jay, just came home from 27 years. When he went to jail, his baby was in his girl's stomach. He's 27 years old now. He's a recording artist out of my neighborhood.
Damn.
He just came home. That's what I'm saying. Romper Room shit.
Yeah.
He back with the crew, with his niggas.
That's real shit.
And that's how our crew, like we don't got no problems with. Yeah, we different.
Can you talk about this nation and becoming the president? Like how was that? What made you want to do that?
Well, our label was Romper Room Records when we went to jail. Rom Productions.
Yeah.
So when so Mac Dre was my co-defendant, and it was Mac Dre and my little cousin Kilo. The 3 of us, we went to prison for conspiracy to commit armed bank robbery, and me and Kilo got attempt. Mac Dre got conspiracy because he knew what me and Kilo was going to do, but he wasn't involved in our.
Yeah.
And he stayed silent to our movement, and he didn't tell. Like he literally went to prison for something he never had nothing to do with. So that was always my bro. So he went and did 5 years. Kilo got 8 and I got 10. So when Mac Dre got out after his 5 years, the Romper Room name had been ran through the mud. It was all on Unsolved Mysteries and all type of shit. So he wanted to start something new. Dre came home and he had a new movement he wanted to start, which was the Thea's Entertainment movement. So when he came home, he changed the name to Thea's Entertainment, and he started the movement. And Kilo came home 2 years after him, and him and Kilo started the label together. That was in '99.
Right.
So I was still in the feds.
Right, when all this was going on.
Yeah. So I came home a few years later. When I came home, Dre came to the halfway house, picked me up, like, bro, this is what we own right now. You feel me? Want you to come be part of this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's the Thea shit now. We gonna, we still romp, but we gonna put romp in the background. You know what I mean? We gonna push the gangster shit to the side, bro. Let's have some fun with this music shit and let's get some money. So that was the birth of Thea's Entertainment. So I was just playing my role. At the time, I didn't have an album out. I wasn't even rapping.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I was rapping, but I didn't have no music out. So I
Yeah.
was just playing my role in the crew. Everywhere Dre was at, I was right there in the cuts. I'm watching over, doing all the shit. You know, sometimes I was hyping the crowd up, his hype man and all the shit, but still working on my music on the side.
Yeah.
So when Dre passed, you know, that shit was a blow to our whole team. We was like, damn, you know, but we couldn't give up. We got to keep this shit alive. We got to keep Dre alive. So after Dre passed, you know, we developed Thiz Nation, which is this stamp on my arm. That's
Yeah.
Mac Dre face, and Mac Dre's Thiz Nation. So that nation was developed, and the core of the nation was my cousin Kilo Kirk, Uncle Miami, who was part of the family, me, Doobie, aka Sugar Wolf Pimp, Ryder J. Clyde. You know, these was all the dudes that was right there, you know, with Dre prior to him passing.
Yeah.
So we put the nation together, and we start bringing in artists from all over the Bay Area. That's what the nation is. We start grabbing everybody. Come on, Oakland, Richmond. It wasn't just Vallejo no more. You feel me? We start grabbing everybody from everywhere and putting out projects, bro. And it was really just to keep the movement alive.
Right.
And I was like I say, I was just the president of the movement. Kilo, and then Mac Dre's mom, who is Wanda, you know, they are actually owners of that. I was just the face.
Yeah.
You feel me? So at the time, by this time now, I'm rapping. I got albums out. I got a movement. You know what I mean? Everybody done figured out who I was because I always, you know, knew how to rap, but I just had came home from prison. So yeah, we pushed the nation, and you know, we brought in artists like Mr. Fab.
Yeah.
You know, we signed Mr. Fab. He was 19 when I met Fab for the first time.
Yeah.
You feel me? He was doing his thing. So we brought him in. We brought Keek the Sneak in. We brought other artists that had
Pivotal,
buzz and had
super pivotal
yeah
artist to
all the
the.
shit, and
Yeah.
bro, and there was the birth of a Bay Area movement that'll be here forever, man.
Why do you feel, even like looking at what y'all did with that and like seeing now it's not as many other labels that have formed in the Bay Area over, like, you feel me, over that time span, like.
Well, labels form, but you know they all different. You know they all have their different structures. You know, every label is not gonna do what a Cash Money do. Every label is not gonna do what a No Limit or a Thiz Nation. You know, people they births. You know, some great labels births. You know, after us came Livewire. It went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's my little bro Jay Stalin. I
Yeah.
watched him since he was a young teenager.
Yeah.
You know, when I first met Jay Stalin was maybe about 16 or 17. He was finna get signed to Finny Shakur.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. He was a young,
Oh shit.
yeah, he was finna get signed to Pac and them label and everything, bro. He was in the studio. He was working with Richie Rich back in the day.
Yeah.
And they was working on some shit together, and I was like, damn, this little kid, he got it. And sure enough, man, he blossomed into a CEO. You feel me?
Nah, for sure.